So, a YouTube star has been arrested and is now facing federal charges for allegedly orchestrating a video where fireworks were launched from a helicopter at a Lamborghini in the desert outside Los Angeles last year. This sounds like a video game or a comic book strip, but let's talk about it on Azimuth Podcast. I'm Barrett McNabb. The Justice Department alleges that 24-year-old Sukhman Choi, known as Alex Choi, directed the video titled Destroying a Lamborghini with Fireworks. He was very descriptive. This video showcased two women in a helicopter repeatedly firing fireworks at the luxury car in San Bernardino County. The helicopter was flying dangerously close to the ground and lacked the necessary permits, according to prosecutors. In the footage, Choi can be seen pressing a button labeled Fire Missiles as the women launched fireworks at their sports car. So, Choi faces a serious charge, one count of causing the placement of an explosive or incendiary device on an aircraft. The 11-minute video, which has since been removed from his social media accounts, appears to show the helicopter pursuing the Lamborghini in the desert while firing fireworks at it. Authorities believe the video was shot in June of 2023 at the El Mirage dry lake bed. Prosecutors stated that Choi did not obtain the required permits, including FAA approval, and bought the fireworks in Nevada, where they're legal, unlike they are in California. So let's go ahead and take a look at this video. Again, it's been removed from the internet, and so we only have a 1-minute snippet of this thing, but I tell you, it's pretty exciting. I mean, I'll be honest, that was pretty cool. It really was. But the Justice Department noted that the video initially presents, again, what it looks like a live-action recreation of a video game scene, and it then transitions to a behind-the-scenes content where Choi allegedly makes references to his role in coordinating the shoot. Again, I haven't seen that type of footage because, again, this is the only one that's left that I could find on the internet. But during this segment, Choi thanked a camera company for being part of my crazy, stupid ideas and mentioned a mishap where he failed to instruct a friend on how to use a torch properly. I'm assuming that's how they lighted the fireworks. But with almost 1 million YouTube subscribers and another 1.2 million on Instagram, Choi has a significant following. And authorities noted that Choi ended the filming after confirming that they were out of fireworks, saying, "Nope, that's it. We're out of fireworks, right?" But, if he is convicted, Choi could face up to 10 years in federal prison. Now, I'm all for law and order. As you may recall, I'm a criminal justice major. But, let's talk about how cool this video is. Yes, it was extremely dangerous. Yes, he didn't have permits to do this. But is the artistic value in a remote area able to mitigate some of this? Obviously, he had licensed pilots that were able to do the stunts. Nobody crashed. But, hey, I got it. I got it. He broke the law. He didn't get permits. But I think 10 years in prison for something is probably a little extreme. But he did, if you look at some of the pictures, we're putting some stills up right now. If you look at some of the pictures, he's got cameras everywhere. He's recording everything. Looks like he has safety people on the ground that are also observing and everything. Now, what we don't see is like an emergency vehicle or things like that I think a normal video of a Hollywood production would have. They'd have medical staff, and we can't see whether that was there. But, it was pretty cool. And while I have not done something like this, with a Lamborghini and a helicopter. There was a time when I was a second lieutenant. I had just graduated the infantry officer basic course at Fort Benning, Georgia, now called Fort Moore. And in between graduating the infantry officer basic course and going to various schools, whether it be the mechanized infantry leaders course or ranger school or things like that, you have various details that you're on, and they can range from escorting DoD civilians around the installation to grading a physical fitness test or running or assisting in running a range for various weapon systems. And I was on a M240 Bravo range, which is a medium machine gun that the U.S. Army uses, and the Marine Corps as well. And it was a nighttime range shoot. And my job in running the range, again, I was the second lieutenant. The people running the actual range were captains, who were the company commanders in the infantry officer basic course. And so I was just in the ammo shed, and it was my job to hand out belts of 200 rounds of ammunition. And they come in these big, giant ammo cans, and you grab, maybe it's 100 rounds. You grab and you break the belt in half because they're linked, and you hand the person who's going to be doing the machine gun familiarization the ammunition. And so now this ammo is a 4-to-1 mix, and what that means is for every 4 normal ball bullets, there's 1 tracer round. And a tracer round is a round that burns red for the United States. The various countries have different colors, but red is the United States. And as it's going down range towards your target, you can see it glowing. And so you can track how your rounds are impacting on the target. And it's pretty cool. I mean, you fire the rounds and again, 1 out of every 5, you have that red tracer going down range. So as I was breaking these rounds out, there'd be a link that would fall over, and I built myself a 200 round belt of pure tracers. Just happened to break them off and would get a tracer. I'd put it in a link, and throughout the night I built this entire belt of 200 rounds, full tracers, and one of the rewards that we got being in the range shack is we got to go and shoot the machine gun as well. And I loaded up this 240 Bravo with this belt of 200 tracers all in a row. And I went cyclic on it. Just pulled the trigger and just went down range. And it looked like a laser beam or a lightsaber was coming out of this 240 Bravo. And I got through about 50 of the rounds when a captain came up to me screaming and saying, I was going to damage the barrel. He's definitely right about that, but as a dumb second lieutenant, and he just has me at the position of attention and is just chewing me up and down for ruining the barrel and things like that. And there were a bunch of other captains that were standing, in close proximity, and that the captain that was yelling at me stormed off, and all the other captains came up to me. There's probably about 3 or 4 came up to me and said, "That was the coolest thing I've ever seen in my entire life." And so, the guy who yelled at me probably thought it was the coolest thing he'd ever seen in his entire life as well, because it did look cool. But I probably did ruin that barrel. I didn't get a statement of charges, but still, he had to chew me out. I'm sure he walked off and was like, "Yeah, that was pretty cool." But how to turn an M240 Bravo into a lightsaber, for Darth Maul using the red tracers, classic. Anyway, I saw this video and I wanted to bring it to you guys as well, because yes, it was dangerous. Yes, he broke the law, and no one's above the law. But I hope he doesn't get 10 years in prison for this, because in the end of the day, this did look pretty cool. So thanks for listening to Azimuth Podcast, and please stay tuned after these messages.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for listening. If you enjoy our show with all the stories we share, we would love your support.
And it's as easy as clicking that subscribe or follow button. This will ensure you never miss an episode and keeps us bringing you these important stories. Your support makes a huge difference. Thank you so much for being part of our podcast family.
Thanks, and keep tuning in.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Azimuth Podcast. Today we're diving into a really controversial new proposal in California that's causing quite a bit of a stir. Imagine that, California coming up with some bonehead idea. But we're talking about a mandate that could require taxpayer-funded state jobs to hire illegal immigrants. I want to make sure you heard that correctly. Taxpayer-funded jobs, and they have to go to illegal immigrants. And, it just seems that is purely un-American, especially since they're not Americans. And so they're prioritizing illegal immigrants over people where the economy is soft right now. And so it's hard for people to get jobs as it is. And so now these jobs would be state-funded, again, with taxpayer money, and they would only get to go to illegal immigrants, which is just putting normal American citizens down on the back burner. So what's the deal with this proposal? Well, recently, a new bill was introduced in California, again, that would mandate the hiring of illegal immigrants for taxpayer-funded state jobs. This move has sparked intense debate across the state and beyond. So let's get into the specifics. So the bill, introduced by California legislatures, aims to address labor shortages and provide opportunities for undocumented immigrants. Proponents argue that this would help fill vital roles in public services from healthcare to education. Again, these are not U.S. citizens, but they're going to be hired to go into our education system and to go into healthcare. Okay, so they believe that everyone, regardless of their immigration status, should have the opportunity to contribute to the community and earn a living. I really disagree with this. I really do, because this is sidelining American citizens for people who came here illegally. I got it. If you are an immigrant and came through a port of entry and have gone through the normal immigration process, welcome here. We need you. We do. We need you. But I do have a problem with people who sneak across the border and happen to get caught, and then now they get all of these taxpayer funded benefits. That's just an outrage to me. However, again, not everyone is on board with this idea. So a lot of the critics are raising major concerns about the implications of such a policy. One of the most vocal opponents is the chairman of Reform California, who has publicly slammed the proposal. And the chairman of Reform California didn't hold back, calling the proposal outrageous and a misuse of taxpayer funds. He argues that this policy would essentially reward, and he's right, illegal immigration, and could potentially encourage more undocumented individuals to come to the state, exacerbating the existing issues. I mean, think about it. Here you have, a program where illegal immigrants are rewarded with jobs. And do you think that is going to stem or increase the flow of illegal immigration, knowing that there are jobs waiting for them via this bill proposal? I think any common sense person would say that the word is going to get out on the street through WhatsApp or a text message or just a regular phone call. Hey, they're giving jobs away for free, and you're at the front of the line if you sneak across illegally. So I just see huge problems. But there's also legal and ethical questions at play. Opponents argue that hiring illegal immigrants for state jobs might conflict with federal immigration laws and could create a complex legal landscape for the state. Again, this would be in violation of federal law, but states violate federal law all the time. Go figure, like marijuana and things like that. It's illegal at the federal level, but states have been legalizing it and have, dispensaries and things like that, and they're feigning rubbing their face in the face of federal law anyway. But additionally, there's concern about fairness, again, that I've mentioned already, to legal residents who are also applying for these same jobs. So you have, the immigration system. Obviously, if you become a resident and you get a green card, and you're waiting in line for that almighty citizenship, these people are getting bypassed, and I think it's wrong. But supporters of the bill, on the other hand, emphasize the humanitarian aspect. They point out that undocumented immigrants are already contributing to the economy and community in many ways. Providing them with legal employment opportunities could integrate them more fully into society and help alleviate labor shortages in crucial sectors. And there's no argument. There are labor shortages in various sectors. Farm workers, for instance, day laborers and picking crops and things like that. It's a job that not everybody wants to do. But still, by filling it with people who go through ports of entry versus people who are coming across the border illegally and just happen to get caught, there's a difference. There truly is a difference. But the debate is heating up, and it's clear that this proposal has struck a nerve on both sides of the political spectrum. As the bill moves through the legislative process, we can expect more arguments, amendments, and potentially significant changes. I mean, there's already a program where non-U.S. citizens can go into the military and receive expedited citizenship. And it's a great program. However, it's for residents and people, green card holders and things like that. So, we need to think about this really carefully. But I want to know what you think about it. Should California allow illegal immigrants to be hired for taxpayer-funded state jobs? Is this a step towards inclusivity and solving labor shortages, or is it a misuse of taxpayer money and a reward for illegal immigration? You already know how I stand on that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this video informative, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates on this and other important issues. Please stay tuned after these messages.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for listening. If you enjoy our show with all of the stories we share, we would love your support.
And it's as easy as clicking that subscribe or follow button. This will ensure you never miss an episode and keeps us bringing you these important stories. Your support makes a huge difference. Thank you so much for being part of our podcast family.
Thanks, and keep tuning in.